The situation now is more decentralized, more diffuse, and frankly more complex in that terrorist organizations such as ISIL or Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula use the internet.
That's Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson on the complexities of fighting terrorist organizations. Meanwhile, in the Middle East, coalition forces continue to hammer ISIS targets in Syria and Iraq. Jordan's Air Force says it has destroyed 56 Islamic State targets since the militant group burned a Jordanian pilot to death earlier this week. Connor Powell is live in Amman, Jordan, with the very latest. Connor?
Yeah, Leland, those 56 Jordanian airstrikes came in just 3 days, by far the fastest and quickest tempo they've had during this about 7 or so month fight against ISIS as part of this anti-ISIS coalition. Jordan saying that this is part of their revenge and that this is only the beginning, nowhere near the end of this revenge as well. Both Jordanian officials and Secretary of State John Kerry offering very upbeat assessments against the fight against ISIS. Jordanian officials saying that 20% of ISIS has been destroyed since this beginning of the campaign. And Secretary Kerry saying today in Munich that they are making real progress against ISIS.
We've disrupted their command structure, undermined its propaganda, taken out half of their senior leadership, squeezed its financing, damaged its supply networks, dispersed its personnel, and forced them to think twice before they move in an open convoy. We are forcing them to change tactics.
Now, the coalition is up to over more than 60 countries right now as part of this anti-ISIS coalition. We're also beginning to see some other Arab countries take a larger role, just like Jordan, in the aftermath of this brutal killing of the Jordanian pilot. The U.A.E., which had dropped out of the coalition in terms of the air campaign, has regained the sort of momentum. They've sent a squadron of F-16s here to Jordan, and they are now participating in the air campaign. We're also hearing that other Arab countries are beginning to reevaluate and to step up their participation in this in this campaign against ISIS. Secretary Kerry is saying that ISIS has lost about 700 square kilometers of territory, but most of that is in fact in Iraq and not Syria, where the battle against ISIS in Syria is actually going far worse. In Iraq, you have Kurdish forces and Shia militia that are really doing a lot of the heavy lifting on the ground with the support of the United States and other countries. In Syria, it's a very different situation. The battle there against ISIS, guys, not going nearly as well.
Well, there's been some reports, at least, Connor, that ISIS has actually gained ground inside Syria. Connor Powell live in Amman, Jordan, where it's already early evening there. Thanks, Connor.